Oakland Ceasefire Program, which I'll show you worked phenomenally for their community. And recently, Milwaukee also used that program, and they're showing significant results as well. One of the big things that we see still today, and has a lot to do with, my kid just sent me with a Snapchat, Trey69, all the media is like, hey, snitch, 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 snitches get stitches. And that's what we're trying to counter, the snitch code. How we do that is build trust and build partners in the community. So again, for us, the community engagement and building trust is huge. And that's how we get to solve the majority of the gun crimes, is with community input and good witnesses. A lot of people are afraid to talk to the police. Again, we're talking about Ceasefire. There's a link in there as well. I recommend it. It's a really easy website to navigate and a great read. And also they're providing a study on the actual cost of what gun violence costs, monetary costs, of what gun violence costs the community, and how, if we reduce gun violence, how we can reinvest that money in something more productive. So they're doing that study specific to the city of Portland to see the cause of that. So this is straight from Oakland Ceasefire. Started the program in 2012, and drastic reduction in homicides and non-fatal shootings. Again, actual proven results and not just making things up. So this is the group that is going to come to Portland, actually are here in Portland, and continue to work with us to kind of give us some best practices what to look at, both from the policing side to the outreach side. And again, this is another slide just kind of showing the same thing, showing the drastic reduction since they started in 2012. And I personally been to Oakland a number of times, and it's, I was scared. I had to lock my door to put gas. The car next to me got carjacked while out of the gas station, and it's for them to really work on this problem, get back in results, it's proven. Excellent. Ceasefire model, what their pillars are, building partnerships among everybody in this room. Criminal justice agencies, public officials, faith leaders, community organizers, service providers, victims, and the community. Implement evidence-based strategies on police work. Reduce repeat offenders, that's your repeat shooters, and that cycle of in and out of jail. How do we fix that? Maximize opportunity to folks who don't have the opportunity. How do we maximize those? And again, the one key word you'll see over and over in this presentation you hear about is building trust. Stress and relationships. This is just a study done for Oregon in general. This is from 2018. And we'll have our own study for Portland specific. But this is from Giffords Center. They do gun studies as well. The cost of gun violence in the entire state, $2.6 billion. That costs $854 per resident. And again, it's hard to see, but again, copies will be available. So if you're just interested in good reading, what could Oregon do with $2.6 billion? Where should we reinvest that? Colleges, youth services, outreach. Again, we'll have one here in the future. Another thing that we started this past year was the Portland Area Crime and Gun Initiative. This is sponsored by the federal government, by the U.S. Attorney's Office. What does it coordinates law enforcement in the area? Instead of working in silos, working together, working collaboratively, instead of just Portland, working on Portland folks, we know that there's a transition of gun violence in different communities, really working together. So here's our partners. We have Gresham, Monroe County Sheriff's Office, the DA's Office, Oregon State Police, FBI, ACS, and the United States Attorney's Office. And what this gives us, next slide please, is what we refer to the technology called a NIVIS machine. Without getting super technical and doing all these fancy words, it's basically a machine that we put our casings, bullets, and guns into, and it compares them to other shootings. So it'll give us good pointers like, hey, this gun was used at this other location, tying cases together, so we can track these crimes and kind of investigate a little thoroughly and quickly instead of relying on old-fashioned police work of who done it. We actually have technology kind of pointing us in the direction of shootings of where these guns were used. Next, please.
So in 2019, of the 283 shooting incidents, not including the suicides, that have occurred in the city of Portland, 87 of those investigations resulted in agonitis. 1 out of 3 shootings, we developed a lead that confirmed that firearm used in that incident was used in the second incident. And so that's 30% of the shootings that we investigate in GBRT. Firearm has been used multiple times. So
that's kind of alarming for us, showing that these guns are getting passed around, or the same individuals using the gun on numerous occasions. And current trends, like this is Steve Wood.
So some of the trends we see over the GBRT is the citywide shooting events, and basically what that means, if you go back to the 2008 map to current times, it kind of was siloed to certain areas of the city. Now it's kind of gun violence is felt in every neighborhood, I think, across the city of Portland. And so very difficult for us to say it comes from one specific location. The effects of social media, you heard the panel up here say, one of the biggest things that I could underscore is that the way folks communicate nowadays is through social media platforms. When there's conflict, and it's viewed by followers and folks that are, visiting these sites, it's compounded when, if the commander and I have a conflict and it's one-on-one and we're in a room, it's just between us. That conflict in a social media platform has an audience of hundreds to thousands of people that all have input that instigate this situation that elevates the tension of the conflict until it results into, in some cases, we'll see gun violence. Intervening in the cycle of violence, repeat shooters. I want to talk about that because as you saw the slide where we take all shootings, but only a specific amount we could identify as potentially gang or group involved or a repeat shooter. And here's why that's important. In the everything else category, whether it's domestic violence, a road rage incident, a conflict at a bar, these type of shootings are, I refer to as one-offs. They're one person having a bad day, crossing paths with another person that has a bad day. And then a shooting event happens. Some could say that that's a random event. And as you know, when it comes to police tactics or strategy, or anything for that matter, it's very hard to stay ahead of randomness, right? It's very hard to proactively control randomness. But when you talk about repeat shooters, and this is me being in the unit for 7, 8 years now, both as an officer and as a supervisor, a lot of the trends that I see are the repeat shooters fall in the gang or group nexus shootings that we see. And if you have officers like Officer Huber, who have been around for 19 years doing this specific work, and there are many like Officer Huber on our team that know the families, they understand the culture, they understand the conflict, they understand the shooting that leads to the next shooting, that if we don't get out ahead of will lead to an inevitable shooting in the future. And so understanding this, studying this, knowing the relationships, we could say it's somewhat predictable or measurable that gives us a strategy to stay out in front of the cycle of violence, if that makes sense.
I want to touch on domestic violence really quick. Domestic violence is a huge issue in our community. A lot of lethality there. We work with our domestic violence team basically hand in hand. They also have a threat assessment team where they do intake on domestic violence cases to measure the lethality and if there's a gun involved. They intervene on violent offenders, and we also have a gun disposition team. If you're served a restraining order, and part of that is you cannot possess a firearm, we will follow up and try to remove those firearms from that individual to prevent a cycle of violence, to intervene and get those guns out of the relationship. Again, talking about the behavioral health unit, we also have another threat assessment team there. And this is kind of the group that kind of looks at the mass shooting. We look at behaviors that can lead up to mass shootings. There's a term about leakage. In about, I can't remember the exact number, but the high percentage, 70+% before there's a shooting is what's called leakage. This person's telling somebody, putting a manifesto out there, and somebody knows. So we really work with that and follow up on each lead to try to prevent these shooting events from occurring. So a lot of that kind of deals with the mental health world. So we have a team dedicated just to prevent those type of shootings. And I think that is it. So I'm thinking taking like a short break, restroom break, and come
Yeah.
back in.
We'll take about a 5-minute break. We'll break come back and break into those restrooms. The questions will be answered in the small